Grace Jeremy was just 17 years old when anorexia left her life in pieces.
It can be hard to get out of bed in the morning. It can be hard to have the motivation to shower, to get dressed, to move. I found that I wanted to get better, and I'd look in the mirror and see that, I was completely skeletal and that it wasn't okay. But at the same time, I couldn't.
As her weight plummeted to just over 5 stone, Grace had to wait for the Children and Adolescent Mental Health Service to help her.
By the time in between being referred to seeing a psychiatrist at CAMHS and actually seeing a psychiatrist at CAMHS, I managed to lose probably another stone.
Grace's story isn't unique, and new figures given exclusively to ITV News by a leading mental health charity show why. Young Minds contacted every mental health trust, local authority and clinical commissioning group in England, all of whom provide mental health care. They found £35 million were cut from children and young people's mental health services in the last financial year, and that £85 million has been lost from the service since George Osborne became Chancellor.
I'm not really seeing my friends as much as
Sure.
Yet the need for help is growing. Therapy centres like this one have never been busier. The Department of Health told us, "We are putting right years of underinvestment in mental health services, and funding for mental health has increased by £300 million to £11.7 billion this year." In March, we also announced £1.25 billion over 5 years to improve children and young people's mental health services. The fear is, after years of underinvestment, it won't be enough.
The problem is that these services have been historically underfunded for so long. What we don't want is that money goes to plug that gap. There should be new money for new services so children and young people get the help they need when they need it.
Grace just can't believe how much has been cut from a supposedly protected budget.
I think for many it's a death sentence, and I think for the rest of them it's terrifying. In no world are these cuts okay. These are young people's lives, young people's futures that you are playing with.
For Grace, the damage is done. New promises don't mean much when the old ones were so easily broken.